regardless, let us head to our slime pits. Does mean we immediately have to do a little bit of reconfiguring, reshuffling of our inventory here, because our corrosion resistance rather is currently on a ring. So might want to get that started. Please, antenna, stop it. Stop this madness. There we go. Oh. Whoa, water moccasin. I kind of wish I could have left you alive. You probably deserve it after surviving the initial purge of this entire area, but it is what it is. I don't really want to switch off this ring that we just put on, especially with that drain mechanic, so maybe what we'll do is lose a pip of cold resistance here, swap over to corrosion, and we'll actually equip this flail temporarily. We want to not be swinging our weapon too often anymore, now that it's no longer the staff. But that will give us the cold resistance we need against azure jellies. And the other flip side of that is that switching weapons is actually an extremely quick action. So we can probably do that on the fly. If we want to use this staff at any point, that should be fine. We'll even change the flail to B so that we have the nice, quick, and easy hotkey to make the swap. Now let's make some noise. Probably too much noise, if you ask me. Ooh. Yeah, especially since this is a less than ideal configuration of enemies. Waiting one turn, we could get the rock slime and the acid slime next to us. All that positivity too, it's beautiful. Yeah, swapping amulets is no longer quick action, but fortunately swapping weapons is still good, so all solid in that regard. Amulet, we shouldn't be swapping for a while, ideally. That's the plan at the very least. We'll see how it goes. But we do unfortunately need to retreat out of there for now. Oof. Oof, oof. How many fire spells are we rocking here? A decent number, not a huge plethora. I haven't trained too much of just spellcasting, so we don't have a lot of spell levels. But I mostly just want to have this kind of core base of spells that I know I enjoy, I know are useful. Could even get rid of Foxfire. Could probably get rid of Mephitic Cloud, even though I brought it on to be a potential emergency maneuver. But that would probably be better swapped out with something like IMV for that pushback. In fact, do I want IMV right now? As for what is being trained, just dodging, right? Because our spells actually came up to where we wanted them. So thank you for bringing it up, because we definitely need to hop back in here and see what we desire. I mean, I don't mind defensive skills just being on the back burner. Could even turn on armor for a little bit here. Maybe cap dodging at 20. And what can we do? We can train more magic if we want just more firepower. We could train conjurations if we want access to Firestorm at some point. Because that's actually at 50%, that's not a huge ways off from being learnable. And that would be really nice, again, against some fire-resistant enemies that we come across in the future. A bit more mass focus damage. What else? What else would we want to train? I guess evocations might just be nice to train up in the background here, as a bit of a supplementary tool that doesn't require quite as much mana points or magic point investments. And last but not least, fighting. Let's turn fighting back on. With that extra manual in the back, that should train up nice and quickly here. Let's read an amnesia. I am going to get rid of Foxfire, actually. And I'm going to learn IMB, because that is super useful for this exact situation we're about to walk into. Let's hop down. I'm actually going to try and hop up. If the rock slime pushes us off, things get scary. Beautiful. Never didn't have it, of course. And now we can just start blasting. The two of us together should be able to take care of pretty much anything that comes our way. Fantastic work. Spellforge Servitor. Doing great out there, kiddo. And there we go. Then I just started blasting. Oh, Spellforge Servitor died. Interesting. Don't love that, but we managed to get through in one piece, and we can finish that off with just a couple tabs. And there we go. That should be the majority of these enemies. There's still a Quicksilver on its way. That will once again bring it upstairs. We'll get a Spellforge Servitor to help us out. and the two of us working together in tandem can take down any single target pretty huge. Yeah, fighting with the manual is super nice. Definitely relative to how quickly it'd be training normally. Immediately get the Spellforge Servitor out against any enemy that gets rid of your own magic supplies. Nice to have that available. And hello, Ninth. Thank you so much for the big raid. I guess I should wait a moment just to make sure that everybody has gotten in safely. But hello, raiders who were directly led here. Hope you had a fantastic time with Ninth. I hope that Ninth's tournament runs have been going well. I saw something about an Ogre Earth Elementalist as I was getting ready to hop on myself today. But welcome all, welcome. We're currently not playing a tournament game ourselves here. We already had this run about halfway through, so I wanted to finish this in this version of the game, and then it'll be the end of 0.27 for us, and we'll be hopping into some web tiles for some tournament games throughout the week here. I'm very much looking forward to it. Just going to be finalizing the squad at the end of today's given time as well. Putting together a bit of a team, and that should be fun. Hey Ninth, how's it going? I hope that your tournament runs are going fantastic so far. Please don't die. Oh, I know. I'm so sick of the curse of the Tengu. I just need to make it through in one piece. Kind of hate the amount of noise that we'll be making, but I think I'm just going to start igniting, take out all the golden eyes in one fell swoop. The oozes will follow shortly after, and the quicksilver can just be cleaned up without too much trouble. At least all things going ideally. That'd be nice. Got win number 3 today on a streak of 2. Nice, congrats. That's awesome. Definitely love to hear it. Hope you continue to have some good luck. Are you in a clan Ninth? Are you the leader of a clan on your end of things? If so, I hope things are going well in that regard as well. Jeez Louise, there we go. We managed to take care of the crew and actually didn't bring out as many enemies as I thought, so that's huge. Also, thank you Energy G for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Who am I listening to? This is the Polybridge soundtrack. So it's all composed and performed, I believe, by Adrian Talons, an absolutely brilliant music writer. I love and adore the soundtrack to Polybridge. It's been a nice compliment to my DCSS series as well, because I feel like it keeps me in a very relaxed, chill place and able to just enjoy the lovely acoustic tunes. You don't have a team? You're not too proactive when it comes to assembling a team? I mean, if you want to just take a spot on ours, I'm definitely happy to have you, but no pressure to join either. Especially if you want more of a group that might be, actively playing a bit more, having goals to reach the top 5 of the tourney or anything like that. But if you just want to have some silly fun, have some people to cheer with, definitely let me know. And we'll add you to the team at the end of the day today. Doesn't sound like video game music. I like it. No, it is definitely a big one for me. I like getting a lot of this kind of instrumental, relaxing music for when I'm doing video game stuff like this on stream, but also definitely when I'm doing like homework, or especially when I'm doing computer programming. It's so nice to have some kind of filler in the background to keep my mind occupied. And this has been my go-to for the last long while, for sure. You were hoping to try the tournament and your internet goes out? Oh no, True Crisis, I'm sorry to hear it. I hope that your internet manages to recover well enough so you can get in some good attempts throughout. So think about it, sounds good. Yeah, no pressure whatsoever, Knight. Sorry to put you on the spot like that. There we go. Let's hopefully find ourselves a nice little downstairs. Ooh. Hello, downstairs. I was just talking about you, friend. That is not too shabby as long as we can survive making it down there. Apparently there's this huge horde of enemies just waiting beyond the horizon. Hello. We'll make some noise ourselves here. Probably attract another large selection, a large contingent of foes our way, but that's fine. Beautiful. And we are definitely on track to making it through. We're just about to pick up our 3rd rune, have Zot to clear, and then this character might be all good to go. Doing okay on the consumable fronts. I wish I had more blink scrolls for when we get down to Zot, but it is what it is. And of course, the main thing is some resistance to electricity. Otherwise, Zot is going to be a little bit of a nightmare trying to make it through. Let's just spam ignition here, making a lot of noise, yes, but also taking care of a decent number of the ad slimes around the area. And we can be kind of cheesy about this and just stare dance if need be. I mean, as long as we're getting kills, Vehemet is replenishing our magic stores absolutely beautifully, doing a wonderful job there, bud. I appreciate you and everything you do for the magical community. Oh geez, though things are heating up a little bit with those rock slimes. Spellforge Servitor will help us get a little bit more efficient use out of our magic points here. And what else can we do? Box of Beasts, I guess, if we wanted another body. Isn't horrible. Let's do it just in case. We don't have a lot of training in that regard either. Probably also shouldn't have stepped off the stairs. Whoopsie daisies. But if our Spellforge Servitor is clearing the enemies from behind a little bit, that's helping out. Triple Shining Eye is horrifying and bad. How about that? In that case, let's bring a Spellforge Servitor back. Hopefully we don't get too mutated by the time we take care of these sons of guns. Because oh boy, look at that list there. Not the situation you want to find yourself in. When the Shining Eyes come out to play, you definitely want to be full magic reserves, able to blast them out of the sky immediately. I kind of pushed my luck, didn't worry about it too much. I saw one of them, some rock slimes. I was more concerned about the rock slimes, but if I knew there were 3, oh gosh. That is rough stuff. We do have a decent number of mutation scrolls, so that's something. Let's even drink a mutation potion or 2 here and see if we can mostly get rid of the inability to read scrolls. Getting the ability back to regenerate might be nice. Oh my gosh, we have 2 different types of scales and bone plates. That's swell. I'm guessing we'll lose that as I attempt to get rid of the rest of these. Let's do 1 more at least and see how that goes. We get rid of all the worst ones. That's fantastic, and we're good to go. Well, yeah, now you know what the Polybridge music reminds you of. Some of America's stuff, like Ventura Highway. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna have to definitely check that out after. Because anything that is described to be similar to Polybridge in terms of general mood and vibe sounds like something that I very much want to get on my playlist for the future. Okay, let's take you to upstairs real quick. I need to blast this Shining Eye as soon as possible. Oh boy. It was indeed, Dr. Pyre, quite the rogues gallery of bad mutations. Some of the worst ones in the game. Largely, they were the mutations that when I get them will cause me to immediately chug a mutation potion. For the majority of mutations in this game, not even a little bit. I'll push it off, I'll push it back, I'll procrastinate all the livelong day. But at least 3 on that list there, where let's immediately read some, or drink some potions of mutation territory for sure. But there we go, managed to get rid of the giant welcoming crowd that was awaiting us here on Slime 4. And maybe, just maybe, we're ready for the Royal Jelly? It'll be interesting. You think I could probably like America as long as I don't mind lyrics in my music? No, not at all. As mentioned earlier, probably it depends a little bit on what I'm up to. A lot of times I like lyricless music specifically for when I'm trying to do something mentally intensive, where I need to be able to focus on whatever I'm working on. But that put aside, I definitely enjoy a wide range, the full gamut of music. So I always am very appreciative of suggestions from chat as well, because I like getting some suggestions, some source of expanding my my musical vocabulary, as it were. I guess musical library is probably the better way to phrase it. Yeah, so thank you for the suggestion. Gives me something to look forward to checking out in the future here. Stop it, stop it. Did I gain 2 resistances there? Or mutations? I did. If not more. But temper, and again lost the ability to read scrolls. That's not great. That's not the one that you want to keep reappearing every time you try and get rid of it, chugging some mutation potions. Come on, come on. I should also try out the Grand Funk Railroad. Definitely will do, Safid. Thank you as well for the suggestion. I like the sound of it. Grand Funk Railroad. Every once in a while I really enjoy getting something a little bit funky in my system for sure. Let's try and get rid of some of these. More energetic is okay, I guess. But even more angry, so we're definitely going berserk if we melee something here. Maybe not ideal. I'm gonna drink one more mutation, just hoping to get rid of that scroll one. No, we lose one of our scales. 2 levels of berserkitis. But unfortunately, we still lose the ability to read scrolls when we're in danger. Oof. It's specifically something I didn't want hitting us right as we're getting prepared to fight the Royal Jelly. Oh no. Servitor, no. Why did you blasted us point blank? That time it wasn't even like a wavering of the orb, you know, a target dying before the orb had a chance to hit. I'm pretty sure that was intentional. I think my servitor just tried to kill me, that son of a gun. How dare you? Okay, I'm stepping back this time. I don't trust you at all, friend. I mean, sure, it might be deserved. Sure, I oftentimes resort to leaving you to do all my hard work and fighting all my battles for me, but I thought that was just the way it worked. I thought we were cool with that dynamic between the two of us. No? No, am I a horrible person? Most likely. Okay, Orb, or Shining Eye, if that is in fact your real name. Jeez Louise. What a wild ride. Yeah, let's not smash ourselves with an Orb of Destruction. That seems like a less than ideal move. Oh, but hello, Royal Jelly. This is not your normal home. What you doing, friend? I'm gonna Phantom Mirror you, probably hit my own. Yeah, I'm gonna hit my own. You know what, let's throw out a second one. Is that gonna work? Probably not. Instead, go for some Brilliance right away. Now we can truly just start spamming mostly Ignition here, just to blast these sons of guns into the next existence. Mostly the rock slimes will be the ones to survive, seeing as they have the fire resistance. But as long as I can kill the Royal Jelly, which we do this turn, we can then try and play it safe with the rest of the slimes and section them off a little bit. I'll definitely know some Grand Funk songs, just not know it was them. Story of my life, pretty much. Because I've never been someone who does a lot of, like, my own searching for music and instead just take suggestions from here or there, you know, hand the aux cord to my friends whenever we were in the car together. There are so many songs that someone will say, like, oh, have you listened to this song? And I immediately think, no, I don't think so. And then once it starts playing, I can list off the first 3 stanzas of the lyrics perfectly from memory. So I wouldn't be completely shocked if it was a similar situation for them here. Okay, let's bring Spellforge Servitor. Never mind. We'll do it here instead. Beautiful. And we'll just try and slowly but surely whittle away some of our enemies here. As long as it's the 2 of us going, I think we'll be good to fight 3 rock slimes. Fantastic works, buddy. See that when you have a good Spellforge Servitor, things go quite nicely. There we go. Let's start with an Ignition to probably just take care of a lot of the chaff here. Get rid of all the slimes, the Quicksilver especially, and same, I guess, Acid Blobs make that especially list almost definitely as well, seeing as how getting exceptionally corroded is not exactly the ideal situation here. GFR, oh, Grand Funk Railroad's I'm Your Captain is their best in your opinion, but okay, I'll start with that one, but don't worry, I'll move through the listing to make sure we get a full and varied approach. Okie dokie. Let's go with Condenser Vein, and hopefully we get some good clouds. I think negative is actually pretty good here. Is anything resistant? No? No positive vibes from any of you? Perfect. Love to hear it. Well, hopefully that does a decent amount of our work for us. I'm still going to drink one haste, seeing as how we're starting to get a little bit out of control here, all things considered. But for the most part, we can still just start walking through all of our clouds of negative energy. Are you resistant to acid? You're not. Rock slimes were built with one minute weakness at the core of their being. Love to hear it. And that allows us to regain some of the magic that we just lost thanks to those kills. So hopefully one ignition does a similar thing. And once you get the snowball rolling and there are enough things on the screen dying every turn to just keep that castable, then oh boy, are we in a fine and dandy position. And there we go. I think we might have pretty much cleared our way here. Not too bad. Yeah, I no longer have the trust that I once did. I always used to talk about the fact that Spellport Servitor's Orbs of Destruction are very dangerous and can hit you. I think in the past I have also talked about it with Lahudib's Crystal Sphere, because when one of those like misses an enemy, they dodge it and it comes through to you. Oof. Oof, my heart. But we actually had the closest call in this very game here, just a bit ago before the raid happened, where yes, we took an Orb of Destruction directly to our face, and it did not feel very good whatsoever. Quite horrifying, to be honest. So ideally, we can avoid running into that same situation in the future, and play a little bit more cautiously from here on out. But okay, don't need the majority of these pickups. I'm just going to do this manually for the time being here, just picking up what we need. There's our third rune. And not too shabby. I guess we can check out these armors. Minus cast. I'm going to say a no to that one. Rock slimes only want one thing, and it's disgusting. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't have put it better myself. It is just absolutely filthy, those rock slimes, if you ask me. But there we go, Spellport Servitor doing all the hard work for us, seeing as how we immediately found ourselves at far too low of a magic reserve. But okie dokie, not a bad slime. I mean, just about the average number of close calls with death that we see anytime we come down this branch, so that's pretty solid. To put it lightly, we didn't get great treasure. Not what we were hoping for at the very least. Was desperately crossing my fingers, hoping against hope to see some source of electricity resistance. We are going to need that moving forward, but still can't complain too much. We got through in one piece, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day, right? But okie dokie. Where do we wish to go next? You let Servitor have Conjure Ball Lightning once, and he spammed it so hard that it was not uncommon to see 9 of them on the screen. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Can I run through an inventory of escape options? Can definitely do my best here. I'm sure I'll miss something, but let's take a quick peek at what we have available at the very least. It's pretty nice to know. And Control F for the Arlec. I think the only source of Arlec we have, I can do that first since it'll be fast, is a Staff of Air, maybe 2 of them. Yeah, so we have seen a couple staves of air, I guess to pluralize properly, which honestly I'm desperate enough at this point that we might actually pick one up to have in our back pocket. So far, anything we see, especially like storm dragons, all I could think of was lightning dragons, and I knew it was wrong, but storm dragons so far have been an absolute terror, a nightmare every time they've popped out. So probably will have one of these in our back pocket. But if we find ourselves in a bad situation, let's double check what we have at our disposal. Okay wands, not a whole lot of damage to put down. We don't have a lot of training and evocations, so I wouldn't rely too much or too heavily on any of these. We're down to just 2 scrolls of blinking. Only 1 scroll of summoning is too bad, because that's often what I like to do in Zot 5 in the lungs, is just spawn myself an army, a horde, to keep everyone busy. that not only has gotten us some wins, it's also somehow prolonged some doomed to die characters for so many extra turns somehow. So that's all right. Luckily, this is 0.27 and I don't have to deal with storm brands. Interesting. I'm scared by the name, for sure. That sounds very frightening, especially for this character. So I'm glad they don't exist yet. We're still living in the past here. For one final character, though, starting next time with Deep Elf, those are going to be a consideration to take into account. And of course, for all our tournament runs, obviously, will be a nice little bit of a warm-up period to slightly get more comfortable with what is in front of us there. But before we move on, let's actually take a quick inventory of our skills as well here. I guess in that quick pass over of escape options, I failed to mention all the evocables we have, but we have one of each of the main evocables here. No chess piece, which I'm okay with. It's a little too sketchy for me to use it at any point in time. But we also want to take a look at what kind of skills we want in order to make it through Zot. Because if we're happy here, we could just head straight to Zot, no problems. If we're heading to somewhere like Elf, a little bit sketchy with the number of lightning attackers there, or somewhere like Vaults, hoping to get some good treasure areas, then we have some more experience to allocate, and we could definitely try and, just bump everything up that last little bit before we head into the very final section of the game. So that could be training conjurations, potentially getting Firestorm? What's your name? Firestorm. Potentially getting Firestorm castable before the end of the game could definitely be nice. Alternatively, we could also train our staves up, train our maces and flails if we plan on using this flail for the next little while here, or we can focus hard on defensive things even. Let's start off by going to the top of Vault. Oh right, this is actually gonna have to manually do stuff for a little bit here, seeing as how our entrance into Slime was less than ideal, to say the least. So I think this is where we have to force the AI to go against its well wishes. There we go. And now take me away to Vaults, please, and thank you. Do we need spell power? We are not maxed out. Definitely not on some of the later game spells here, like Ignition. Not even close. A little bit better with the staff of fire, of course. But we could definitely use a bit more training there if we didn't have anywhere else we wanted to put the experience. 100% would be the way to go. As is, I'm tempted to get this flame or firestorm up and running, and then we can kind of get focused on some of that. Oh, sorry, not sure what a storm brand is. You meant Thunder Hulk? Not any less frightening of a title. I'll give it that. Still absolutely shaking in my boots if we had to face off against them here. 3d26 smite targeted lightning. Oof. That's no good. Found Firestorm surprisingly effective against Orbs of Fire. Exactly, anything with fire resistance. It's nice to have another option. Like Orb of Destruction is great and all, but it's nice to have an AoE ability that will allow us to fight even against those tricky resistant enemies. I also didn't even notice there is a Wizlab here. It must be all the way up here then? It's a bit of a walk, for sure. Let's go. They're in vaults and their common is Convokers. Interesting. Yeah, definitely not what we want to see. In fact, wait. Are Thunder Hulks just in that version, or do they exist in 0.27? Why do I know the name Thunder Hulk in my head for some reason? Maybe I just saw it in one of the notes, or I talked to someone about what they were thinking about the most recent changes to the game. Regardless, let's hope that none show up here. Let's hope that they are a version off. A problem for a future iteration of this character might be nice. Oops, that's not who I wanted to send that off against. Most likely this just hits the wall. Okay, it just hit the wall. To be expected. So let's instead just bring all of you back to this nice little hallway here, where we can blast you the old-fashioned way. Of course, the second the Convoker shows up, I will definitely switch tacks a little bit here. And that should just about do it. You and your orbs of destruction, me and my fire spells, we make a good team. Servitor, we make a good team. And no need to get fancy with it. Let's just go clean up. They are in 0.27, but they don't have the blink. Okay, interesting. So we'll have a slightly easier time dealing with them if they do show up. But that makes sense, because, oh yeah, they're the weird... I know exactly what the tile looks like now that you mention it. Because they have, like, their bellies sticking out. And they have weird neck structures, from what I remember. Though I'd be curious what kind of images I'd come up with if I had to draw all the tiles in this game from memory instead of being able to see them, because I'm guessing some of those would turn out, let's say, interesting, to say the least. And they deal a lot less damage as well. 3d21 instead of 3d26. Still frightening. Still a bit more than this character is willing to handle, or able to for that matter. But there's potentially hope for the world, so that's nice. Spellforge Servitor, if you want to be chill and not almost murder me, that would be cool. Greatly appreciate it, honestly. There we go. We have enough Reflection Brand that I'm not too worried about Yaktars, even though they can definitely output a ridiculous amount of sheer damage if put into the wrong situation. And now let's quickly try and sneak around. I'm sneaking. Very sneaky-like. I'm worried here. I don't know my Wizlabs well enough, so I probably shouldn't go in. But the last few haven't been that bad, you know what I'm saying? So let's maybe take a peek. As long as it's not electrical themed, we should be okay. We do lose our ability to read scrolls, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Oh, Beastmasters were removed in 0.28. Interesting. Do you know off the top of your head what the reasoning was in the commit? The Roulette of Galubria. So it's all like a play on the passage of Galubria. I like that. I don't like so much what it entails. What is being implied here, because, oh boy, are we very much not suited to take on very specific fights. So I don't know how intelligent it is to try and make our way through here. You are currently in this Wizlab? Oh, holy cow, what are the options? Also, hello, Railbird. I hope your run is going well. Are you playing on web tiles for the tournament at the moment? In general, I hope if you've gone in any tournament games that they've gone well, of course. You use a piece of graph paper to map out the portals. Oh, cool. Oh, is this a puzzle in that regard? I'm too tempted. I'm scared. But that sounds like fun. I'm gonna go. Oh, Eldritch Tentacles, of course. How about that? How about that? Well, you're at least not, I think, actively in the same area as me. So we can just move forward. I'm slightly concerned. It's gonna be interesting. The Beastmasters were a whole pile of cool ideas, but none that panned out. Depended very heavily on their bans, which tend to work poorly when they got separated. And some hacks to guarantee they'd only generate with bans, which broke monster queries. Oh, interesting. So a bunch of little kind of compounding issues, I guess, that made up reasoning, but very cool. Oh boy, Silk Company Wizlab. See, I don't know if I recognize that one at all. And if I get Harvey killed, hopefully not, friends. Hopefully not. Okay, how does this even work? So I'm guessing we'll come across some more portals that we can go down? Something like that? Like there's a portal that we can enter. Worldbinder, you can get immediately deleted. Thank you kindly. Same with a Tentacled Monstrosity or Star Spawn or whatever it is. Whatever you call yourself. And, okay, we have a gateway out. That's nice. Still marking the area unsafe for travel, of course. A little bit of Zyme never hurt nobody. Except they definitely did, because they're super annoying when you have a very resistant or regen focused build is what I was going for there. Let's just blast these buddies, get rid of that brain as soon as possible. Lurking Horror, nothing we can do about that. Gonna just have to take the hit. Back to their soul is poorly communicated to players. I do agree with that. I was very curious. I was thinking every time I read it, it was like, so is this just haste and might? Is this just berserk? It seems so similar in many regards, but interesting. Some discussion of replacing them with a summoner that calls in berserk's harpies. Oh, that'd be funny. But rolling back for now. Very cool. Thanks for porting that over, Colgate. I appreciate it. We first read a scroll of magic mapping, then map the portals with numbers as you move through them. Because that's the roulette aspect of this, is that we don't actually know where things match up. Just because they're adjacent doesn't mean anything, I would assume. So let's just explore the whole area for now. Settle one small part of the debacle. We could read a magic mapping, and that's probably the more intelligent thing to do, but we have 5. There are 5 floors of Zot. I kind of unnecessarily enjoy making sure that we are able to get through all those. So I'm slightly concerned about the center here. How do I get rid of these tentacles? If the portal dies, do they die? Maybe? Regardless, let us start. If we're going through any of these, we'll start top left. And here. And I'm going to try first to go from memory, though we'll see how it goes. Let's pop through. Oh, hello. That immediately takes us into the hot zone. Well, just start blasting, I guess? They are all adjacent to each other, so we should get okay damage turnout. Maybe even Condenser Vein adds something here. Does fire do anything to you? No, you're immune to it. What does hurt you? Oh, interesting. In that case, I need to send out some of these. Maybe get a Servitor on my side to do all the heavy lifting. We killed... Oh, with a roar, the tentacles hold back through the portal. Maybe that means we did it? Now, Obsidian Statue is going to be a pain in the rear. Unless we can get this angle on it. There we go. We at least get some damage down. Still less than ideal here, all things considered, though. Let's take a brief moment, do my textbook move of hands off the keyboard just to give myself some time to actually think through my actions instead of just rushing headfirst into the very first solution that comes to mind. Probably should have thought about a potion of brilliance here. That might have been smart. Also, definitely throw a hydrate in. Thank you, A1. Gives me a good opportunity to think here. Yeah, it's not too late for us to haste. We have 10 potions, so that's one that I can easily throw out there without too much consideration. Lovely. Don't know where that Orb of Destruction is going. Hopefully not towards me. Ideally here. I mean, summons, I probably don't get any magic back for killing summons, hey? No experience or items, which is totally fair, I get that. What about Behemoth? What do you feel about summons, sir? Hey, good old spellbook in the sky. If we could throw slightly better, then we could definitely use javelins here. But maybe instead we'll start with a nice one of those. In fact, Acid 49. You have a decent amount of health, I believe, in Obsidian Statue. Let's smack you one more time with that. Beautiful damage. In fact, enough that I'm willing to throw one more at the problem. Beautiful. And I mean, all things considered, this is actually the room that we wanted to get into, because I saw this artifact robe here, or cloak rather, and it definitely was up my alley to check it out. I think this is just a better version as to what we're wearing. It is. Used Orb of Destruction to take out the statue. Yeah, you didn't have too many issues with Iron Grate. That was my main concern, was just getting ricochets, hitting the walls every which way. You like how Cinder Acolyte gets 0 dexterity? He had strength, pick conjure. If you hate intellect, berserker. For dexterity haters, there's no option for Cinder Acolyte. Oh, that is fun. Though not something that I would find too interesting. I mean, I think I am gonna try out the Cinder Acolyte quite a bit, especially in the first little while of trying to sort through how it do and whatnot. But I like having dexterity on most of my characters for sure. Cloak of Preservation. How good is this really? We have resistance to poison already. Strength +6 is okay. This does mean that we could switch out our armor, and because we're getting extra strength out of it, we can actually wear heavier armor than we otherwise would have been able to get away with. So that's pretty sweet in its own right. Stealth, probably not doing a whole lot for us. Evocable Blink is actually not a bad objective to add on here either. Didn't even look, what color is this cloak? Ooh, it's like a cyan kind of shade. Interesting. Well, do we want to cut our losses here or keep going? Cinder Acolyte, if Wand of Flame was a god. I guess here, let's take a peek. This vault shouldn't be too bad. Thrashing Horror, Smoke Demon can take care of all that. This vault definitely can take care of that. I would assume Center Vault is going to be the scariest one of them all, but never know what you might find. Dexterity got buffed in 0.28. Ooh, all shields scale fully off of dex instead of larger scale. Shields scaling partially strength. Ooh, maybe it would have been nice to update to 0.28 before I did all of these dexterity themed characters, because I think both for my Spriggan and for this character, they've been pretty dex heavy. That's funny. Asking the real question, does it look good? It's the most important part of any new piece of equipment that we are even debating putting on our body. It's gotta look good. We know this to be true. But okay, let's start with like a left theme. We'll always go to the leftmost portal. I would go left top, but it's not there to stay consistent with the first portal we went through. But this is my equivalent of like when you're going through a maze, keeping one hand on like the left wall the entire time so you don't ever retrace your steps in a bad way, or accidentally at least. But okay, there's a diva here. Let's bring out Spellforge Servitor to start out. Should do a lot of the heavy lifting for us in the initial little bits of the fight. Holy Scourge, no thank you. Fog is not great. As kind of briefly hinted at earlier, we'll have top being a higher priority than bottom. So it'll be like left goes first, then top, then right, then bottom. We'll see how it goes as we continue to shake through. Okay, we do manage to make it out, so let's check out this portal, bring in Spellforge Servitor. The rest of these don't actually seem like they'll be too bad fight-wise. I'm ready to be made to eat those words, but hopefully can live by them here. But perfect, let's head left. Spellforge Servitor should actually be the first thing we bring in, just to make sure that we have all of the firepower at our disposal. Ignition does absolute wonders against these gosh darn Starcursed masses that can be such a pain otherwise. But in this case, the stronger they get, the more powerful our own spells are, so that's fantastic. Don't need any poison darts, so we'll just keep it a moving here. Bring in a friend. Even against these Star Spawn tentacles, as soon as they let loose their appendages, I guess, is the best way to put it. Similar reasoning, Ignition gets a heck of a lot stronger. Love to see it. Bring willpower, probably don't need, so that's fine. Of course, left takes priority, as with all things in life. And no, I'm not biased just because of my own dominant hand. Couldn't possibly be involved with that whatsoever, don't be ridiculous. And beautiful, Heal Wounds potion is lovely. Let's grab those Sons of Guns. I know the spatial things are there, but come on, game. Let's be real. Just let me rest. I mean, I say that, but probably if I was sitting here for 200 turns and they just kept bopping into me, I'd A, never heal up to full, and B, potentially die. Who knows? But let's head out. Okay, not too bad. Top takes more priority over bottom right, but there are no portals there. So I guess instead, let's just go through the same routine, shall we? Except take new routes this time, new paths. So that starts with this way. Let's do it. Max out SP on Ignition. Looks fun. It is fun. Ignition is the definition of fun in this game. I absolutely adore the spell. And it's by far the most satisfying option of Blast to bring into the middle to end parts of the game. There's something just innately satisfying about being able to absolutely blast the entire screen in one fell swoop each and every opportunity. Protection from Fire Ring. That might be handy to have. I think we just can go up to 2 pips, and that's with some rearranging of our current equipment load in order to get that. Because that's using the Staff of Flame, which is not always going to be an option. So I might enjoy having this in my inventory. Wand of Paralysis has definitely fallen off by this stage in the game. Fallen off plus ratioed, so let's just leave that son of a gun behind for now. I guess I might as well blast you if it's going to make my resting easier, just for convenience sake. There we go.